There's been an extreme act of generosity here within the Let's Play Through community because today's video features a set of clubs that not only was loaned to me to test out for this show, but is also going to be used to give away to one of you subscribers of Let's Play Through. Josh got this set of Maltby TE Plus version 4s in this beautiful black finish, and he said the shafts didn't quite match his game, so what he decided to do is send them to me, and as I mentioned, he's going to give this set away. I'm going to leave a link down in the description so you can sign up for this contest. Thank you so much, Josh. Well, this set happens to be 6 through gap wedge, so what we're going to do today is play 6 holes of golf with an over-under of +1. That will be our bellwether to see if we play some good golf here today. But as always, I will be ranking these clubs on 5 factors: distance, forgiveness, workability, aesthetics, and value. We're gonna have a lot of fun as we play some holes of golf together, and I tell you what I think of these beauties. First, let's take a look. Here they are. This is the 7-iron in hand, and this is a classic player's cavity back design, but obviously what sets this one apart is the finish. Now, Maltby doesn't just use any finish because these clubs have actually been used, but it's very difficult to tell. Most PVD finished clubs are going to have some wear and they're going to start to show some metal underneath the coating. These don't, because the coating's actually baked into the club. So they're going to last longer and look better for more years to come. Now, as mentioned, this is the 4th version of this design from Maltby, and it's stamped proudly there on the back. As you can see, these are also forged from 1025 carbon steel, which should give us a nice soft feel to these irons. I'm really excited to try it out because I was so impressed with the TS3s that Maltby produced, and I want to see if they're anywhere near that. Now, the shafts on here didn't work for Josh, which is why he gave these to me, but they should work pretty well for me. In fact, I tested them out on the range here before I tee off, and they seem really good. NS Pro Modus. This is a regular shaft flex, and it's 120 grams. Now, what we're gonna do today is tee off from the super senior tees. So this is between the seniors and the red tees, the forward tees. And like I said, irons only. This set is 6-iron at the top of the bag, so that's what we're gonna use to tee off. Looking down at this one, I would say it's kind of in between some of the irons we've tested this year in terms of length of the blade as well as depth of the blade. It's reasonably sized, but it's not oversized, and it's certainly not undersized. It's kind of right in between in terms of offset, not much offset, which I really like. And the top line is pretty thin for this type of club. Woo! Nice high launch. That's right down the middle. In terms of feel, again, I would say it felt good. Maybe not quite as buttery as the TS3s we felt from Maltby or some of the other clubs we've tested here on this show. It's a little firmer, but still pleasant, and the sound really good there as well. I mean, we're right dead in the middle of the fairway, so that's a good start. I've got pitching wedge in hand because the distance here is 131. And let's see if we can carry it all the way in this morning dew. Good strike, if not maybe just a touch thin. Are we gonna have enough though? It's hard to see. I think we are, but let's go find out. Well, we did pay a bit of a distance penalty there. I'd say I'm 12 to 15 yards short, so we'll continue to monitor this, but again, that shot was a little on the thin side. And of course, if you need a little bit more forgiveness, Maltby's got options. They've got clubs like the KE4 Max, which are gonna provide more forgiveness. These are gonna be for the better ball strikers. Decent, but we're gonna have a 5-footer here to save par. Oh, it just never broke. All right, well, we're starting off with the bogeys. That means we're right on our number. So we gotta play some good golf here moving forward. Now, getting back to the subject of forgiveness, Maltby has its own rating system when it comes to how forgiving a club is. They call it the MPF. These clubs get 838 on the MPF scale, which means these are gonna be a very forgiving club. So, like I said, we'll continue to test forgiveness here, and we'll see what it does on off-center hits, because I won't be hitting it in the center today, I can guarantee you that. I'm a mere mortal, and if you are one too, hit that subscribe button. All right, hole 2, straightaway par 4. Again, we got 6-iron in hand here. Again, caught that one a little thin, but we'll measure the distance. I think it's pretty good. Walking up to the ball here, yes, that thin shot, we did lose some distance, but it's not egregious. 165, there could be worse 6-irons at 165 and no rollout for sure. Now, The nice thing about this set of irons is, to me, the lofts I think are perfect. It's always that balance between more modern lofts, more pressed lofts, and then the lofts of old that are just, to me, a little bit too low. Okay, so at the 7 iron of this set, 32 degrees is where it sits, 22 at the 4 iron if you had a 4 iron, and 44 at the pitching wedge. To me, that's the perfect spot for a modern set of players' irons. I really love that. So you're gonna get ample distance out of it when you strike it in the middle, which hopefully I do that here next. 147. This is a back pin, so let's go ahead and put the distance to the test right away, because I'm kind of in between an 8 and a 9 iron, and I'm gonna go 9 here and try to push it. Let's see if we can do it. Well, when you swing hard, you often miss them a little left, but we did get the distance there on the right level. And we'll get up to the green there, look at stopping power as well as, you know, if we're pin high or how far away we are. Yes, I do fill all the divots out here. And I fix all the pitch marks, even if I don't put them on camera. But I get so many comments about it, just had to let you know. All right, approaching this green from the side here, yes. We hit that, let's see, we had 147. I said I'd hit it 144, which is good for a 9 iron for me. There's our pitch mark, and there's where she stopped. Very good in terms of stopping power. And that's the type of thing that you'd expect from a set of clubs like this. Again, maybe you lose a little distance on those off-center hits, but it makes up for it in things that players want. Spin, workability, trajectory control, that sort of thing. All right, first birdie chance of the day. Let's see if we can strike early. Ooh, didn't expect it to break that way. That's a misread. But that's a par. Nonetheless, we're heading to a par 3. I guess we just have to knock them closer. Well, we're gonna have another chance with this same club because we've got 142, and I'm gonna go 9 iron again. This time I'm gonna take a little smoother swing and hope for a better result here. Only thing we have to guard against is a bunker there, short left. Okay, I hit that one certainly off the toe, so let's see how that does for distance. It's gonna be interesting. And again, didn't take as hard of a swing. Still, in terms of direction, I'd say a pretty forgiving result there from the TE Plus. Yeah, definitely penalizing in terms of distance with those off-center hits. But again, like I said, direction pretty good there. We're about 10, maybe 15 yards short again. So contact does make a big difference here with these clubs. And much better chip that time. So we escape here with a par. By the way, for you, the beginner golfers who watch this channel, I would say learn from my mistakes here. Twice today, I underclubbed and I mishit the ball, which you're going to do very often when you're a higher handicap. And missing short is generally not the best place. I got a little bit lucky. I carried the water on hole 1 here. I didn't go in that bunker, but in general, take 1 extra club most times than you think you need, because golfers often come up short. So balls I'm playing here today, like I play every time I'm out here, are the Legatos. I love these balls because of the price and the performance. I think if you've seen my video, and I'll leave a link to it right here, if you've seen my video putting it right up against the Pro V1, I think it is on par and in many cases outperforms it. And of course, that's a ball that's over twice the price. These things are beautiful. This is called the LTX 3085. The compression is 85 on these balls. They've got a very soft feel. I find them to be really buttery soft. The flight is high, as you're seeing here today. On these irons, I'm getting some nice high shots with some longer distance. The spin is fantastic, and we've seen the stopping power here with these irons. It's a great pairing. Paint job on these balls, as good as anything out there as well. You know a cheap ball by the paint job, and this one again looks very similar to that Pro V1. Very high quality paint used here. It's a little thing, but it's important. And I love their bold track, which helps me align putts. I haven't made any here today, but I have hit them online. I've just misread them, but absolutely love these balls. You can find them on Amazon, and if you want to support the show, I've got a link down below for you to buy them. All right, little dog leg right here, par 4. Let's test workability here. I'm actually going to hit a bit of a fade. And we did get a little fade there. Not crazy. Again, I find these clubs to be a pretty straight club, but ample workability. All right, another chance at redemption, because guess what we have? We've got 142. I've got that 9-iron back in my hand, and this time I'm gonna make good contact, I promise. Pin is in a good spot middle of the green. I still can't say my ball striking is super sharp here yet today. And again, maybe it's shaft that plays a role. I generally play a stiff shaft, but at 120 grams, it should be close enough, I would think. Again, though, we do have a birdie putt, and the forgiveness of this club came through a little bit more that way. We didn't lose quite as much distance on that thinner strike. We've got ourselves our best chance of the day here for birdie. Now again, stopping power, impressive, because this is my pitch mark right here next to the ball. And we've got, I would call this 12 feet, moving a little right to left. Very makeable putt if I could put a good stroke on it. Oh, that one broke more than I thought. All right, we've got 2 more holes to make something happen. We're still on that bubble of +1, but I feel like we're on the cusp of something. Now, one thing we do need to discuss about Maltby, and it's, you know, it is what it is. But number one, they don't offer left-handed versions of their clubs. That's tough, but it's very tough for these smaller direct-to-consumer brands to be able to do that, because unfortunately, left-handed golfers are only 10% of the population, and there's a lot of R&D and development that goes into these golf clubs, but it's a shame. The other thing is, these clubs, at the price you can get them here in the United States, which is incredibly cheap, is not the same for our fans out in Europe, the UK, Australia, Canada, places like that. It's a little harder to get these clubs. Maybe Canada can, but at least over in Europe and in Asia, you just can't, unfortunately, find these clubs at a good price. But, you know, there's always going to be some, you know, give and take when it comes to these DTC brands. There's a couple there that Maltby have. Man, I cannot wait till I turn 70, because I thought those were the tee boxes, but our tee boxes are way up here, about another 125 yards. We may have a chance if I can hit a good 6-iron here to get home in 2. In order to do that, though, we got to hit 2 good shots, and most importantly, this one. Much better strike there. Had a lot more power. I think we're gonna have a chance. Well, we don't have a chance. I'm 225 out. What I'm gonna do here is lay up with a nice little 8-iron, then we can get the gap wedge in our hand and attack. Pulled that one a touch. So getting back to the feel, again, I'll stick with what I said on the first hole. I do think the feel of these is good, but it's just not quite as soft feeling as some of the other Maltby offerings. I'd probably put the TS1 IM and the TS3, of course, a little bit above these TE pluses in terms of feel. Now, is it because of that black finish? I'm not sure. I haven't tested the chrome ones, but at least these ones are just a firmer feeling club in general. All right, I've got a very difficult lie. I've also got some crud on my ball here. At 84 yards out, we're gonna put the gap wedge to the test for the first time here today. And if we're gonna get that birdie, I really need something good to happen on this shot. Oh, it's right on line. In terms of distance control, I think that's pretty good as well. I'll take that. Another reason you want to play a player's club like this over, you know, more of a game improvement club is because you're going to be able to get out of tough spots a lot easier. Not only will a nice thin sole like these have get you through the rough a little better generally, you're also, again, going to be able to control your trajectory. I had to keep it low there to keep it under those overhanging branches, and I hit just the shot I wanted. Okay, tougher putt here. I'm gonna have to play it out around there. It's gonna be breaking in pretty hard, left to right from my angle, right to left from your angle. Oh, overplayed that break just a touch. It broke late, as you can see. But we got it. And we're heading to our last hole, last opportunity to maybe get under that over-under. Right now we're still on the bubble, so we're still good, but I would love to be even par here for 6. All right, last chance here. I don't think we've missed a fairway yet today, have we? This thing has been really a very accurate right to left club. Let's see, we do it one more time. And then we're gonna rank these clubs. That's probably the best of the day. So if you watch this show, you know I rank our clubs on 5 categories. Distance is the first category, and for these, I would say distance is, again, ample to good. It's definitely not great. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 4 out of 5. I think it's solid. In terms of forgiveness, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. Extremely forgiving left and right, as I keep saying. But you are gonna have a little bit of a distance penalty on a thinner shot like I've done way too many times here today. If we talk about workability, I did hit that one fade out here on course, but I did test this on the range before we came out here. And what I saw on course matches what I saw on the range. Basically, these clubs are pretty good in terms of workability, but again, for me, another 4 out of 5. In terms of aesthetics, pretty simple in terms of looks, but that's oftentimes a good thing. This nice coating is going to hold up, and so there is definitely a little bit of a bump there for a black coated club. If you talk about feel and sound, again, I think I prefer those others I mentioned a little bit more, but still pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and give it a 4 out of 5 once again. And when it comes to value, well, you just can't beat Maltby value for the money. Their entire line is extremely affordable. Again, especially if you're here in the United States buying these clubs. And for me, that's gonna be a 5 out of 5. That puts these clubs at 84 points and a very solid set of irons here again from Maltby, and I just love how many options they have. If you haven't seen my other reviews of the Maltby, definitely check out, especially the TS3 and the TS1 IMs, 2 other fantastic set of irons that Maltby creates. Don't forget about that contest. We're giving these ones away, so someone's gonna be winning this set of clubs. I'm gonna try to finish strong here. Let's see if we can do it. By the way, 170 on the nose is what we had for distance there, which is really good with a 6 iron. Again, no roll out here, and we've got 139 in, right in between pitching wedge and 9 iron, but I think 9 iron, as I said on that other hole, it's better to be a little long sometimes, especially with this hole filled with stuff you don't want to be in. Oh, good strike. Okay, of course I saved my last 2 shots of the day. That's golf, right? Like, it's those last shots. You always hit them on the 18th hole or the last hole you're playing, and that's what keeps you coming back, it seems like, huh? All right, let's see if we can make a putt. All right, a tough putt though. We've got left to right, kind of uphill then downhill, maybe just straight downhill, I don't know. It's tricky. Yeah. And once again, I overplayed the break. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. We did hit our over-under, which is always a good thing. Make sure you're subscribed to Let's Play Through so you don't miss any videos on this channel. Again, I've got a couple Maltby videos here for you to check out, and I'll catch you back here next time on another edition of Let's Play Through.